It's UPBOptionMillionaires.com. It's a Tuesday, December 6, 2016, 2 hours before the opening bell. S&P 500 futures are flat to start the trade today. Could not say the same thing yesterday as we rallied sharply. This was in the face of a vote in Italy that was possibly going to provide risks to the market. Oh, well, we know any and all risks in this market, especially those of the political variety like we saw back with Brexit and most recently with Donald Trump's election. Has just been a great buy the dip opportunity. How many times have we said that since the lows in March 2009? Buy the dip opportunity. Zika, the sequester, Ebola, Syria, Cyprus, the list goes on. And every name sell off in this market has just been an opportunity for buyers to step in and take prices higher. We just sit a couple points away from new all-time record highs. Goldman Sachs out this morning with a new target for the S&P 500, higher than it is today. Shocker. Look at the U.S. dollar index pulling back a little bit, so that should alleviate some concerns, although it's up 0.2% here this morning. The U.S. dollar index back into triple digits. Long-term consolidation, been talking about this flag. We've broken out of it. We're coming back to kiss support. We could possibly see the next launch up into the end of 2016, start of 2017, which is going to really crimp some of the multinational profits. But again, that remains to be seen if this U.S. dollar index is really going to start to take off. You would think with the protectionism that Trump is laying out there, this would make the dollar a lot stronger than it is today, especially with the Federal Reserve ready to raise rates for only the second time since the Industrial Revolution. So we look at the U.S. dollar index up a little bit this morning. Gold continues to look weak. And again, if the U.S. dollar index rallies, gold is going to take a tumble. And if you look back, U.S. dollar index back in 2000 was up here. U.S. dollar index now is about here. So if you look, gold, dollar, inversely related. The gold futures are going to tumble under 1,000 into 2017, assuming the U.S. dollar continues its rally. Crude oil has been rallying, but pulling back a little bit today, down over 1%. Is this some sort of inverted head and shoulders pattern? We're going to break up the 60. Gartman was on CNBC yesterday talking how we've seen the top for oil. First it was 40, now it's 50. Who's to say we don't get up to the 60 level that we saw at the start of 2015? And finally, let's get into the VIX. You can see the VIX here just chopping around back near the lows that we saw in the summer, 1181. That's where we are here this morning. If you go back to 2007, we were at 1002. Possible single-digit move for the VIX. Something to keep an eye on. Of course, if we hit the single digits, that means S&P 500 futures are going to really rocket higher. Let's get into some charts here this morning. Tesla Motors up almost 3% yesterday. You can see price action starting an hour after move down over the last 5 months from 230 down to under 180. You can see the rejection at the 180 level here. So looking for a move short term up to the 200 level, still keep us in that middle of the channel. That's Tesla Motors. How about the bond market? TLT, yeah, you know me. And we've come down to support that we saw back in the middle of 2012 for TLT. We got rejected, fell under 100, and then a beautiful breakout. Now it's supported. We're going to see a nice bounce here up into the mid-20s. It's a possibility here, and if that does indeed happen, you look for the S&P 500 futures as well to react favorably because the bond market is going to be something to watch in the years ahead as interest rates start to rise, inflation possibly would higher interest rates would imply more difficulty for some of those highly leveraged corporations who didn't utilize the low interest rates to get rid of their debt, but instead took out more debt. So when those corporations need to refinance, they'll have to do it at higher costs, which is going to raise their interest expense, and profits are going to take a hit, and they're not going to be able to buy back all that stock they were able to buy back of the cheap money. So we're going to continue to watch the bond market going forward. I think a bounce here would be pretty favorable for the stock market. So we can see, again, TLT at support as the 20-year bond treasury ETF bounce up to 125 or so in the short term. Again, would be somewhat bullish for the market as well. Just bring up the VXX merely as a point of interest as far as intraday. And you can see yesterday when the market was pulling back, VXX did not pull back. It stayed beaten down, and you saw late in the trading session yesterday. And then this morning, we're down another 50 cents on the VXX. This, again, is showing a short-term indicator. If you look this compared to the market, usually the VXX is right. When the VXX is red, the market is up. If the VXX is red and the market's down, usually the market heads back up. So just keep an eye on this. If we start to see the VXX turn around and the market is up, they're both green, look for the market to pull back. Right now, we're not seeing that. Facebook, long-term chart for Facebook. Looks bullish. You can see this is a support line that goes all the way back to the start of a rally that we saw in the middle of 2013. You can see each time it's come to this line, it's respected support. Here we are again. Facebook, this could be a nice buy point for Facebook. Google's not in the same kind of position here. We've broken under this flag here, so we're going to probably get down at about the 725 level. That's a $50 move to the downside possibility here for Google. So again, if you want one of the fangs, Facebook looks better. Netflix as well. If you look at the chart, each time it's kind of popped to a high, it's pulled back. Middle of 2015, start of 2016. Here we are again. We popped up to a high, some sort of a bear flag here. Possible move down to 110, 100. And look, each of the times actually it's pulled back from here. It's gone under $100 a share. That is net. And then we have Amazon here. I don't know what this line is doing here. We'll delete that one. But if you look at Amazon, it's in a downtrend. But if you look at this downtrend, it actually stops here at about 770. So we could possibly see a bounce here. We're at 759 at the close yesterday, up another $11 before resuming the pullback to about $700 to bring us back to the highs that we saw at the end of 2015 for Amazon. A couple other charts to look at. XLE, the energy ETF. I talked about this line in the sand here, the 70 level. You look going back over the last 10 years, we've hit it, and it has been either rejected or we've surged through it. And back in 2013, we surged through it, much like we're doing here at the end of 2016. We're breaking out. This implies a possible move back up into the 90s for the energy ETF XLE. Pretty amazing move here to see it break out the other day. Was up, 5-6%. It was a multi-day move. So XLE breaking out in style. A couple other charts to look at. The financials also breaking out. JP Morgan Chase. I mean, look at this chart. Just a colossal move. Didn't even see a move like that in the financial crisis. I mean, that's the biggest candle JP Morgan Chase has ever seen over a monthly time frame. Look at that. Just an amazing move. Goldman, spectacular, also breaking out. Another wonderful candle. I mean, we saw a pretty deliberate rally off the lows in 2009, but we have not seen a candle like this. Pretty stunning rally for Goldman Sachs. And the financials overall, look at the breakout here of this flag. Nice move up to 23. Not back up to the financial crisis highs. So that's also something to keep an eye on. Let's look at a couple of the charts. For downside, how about Harley-Davidson HOG? You can see it's starting to pull back. The first red candle it's had in a couple months. HOG pulling back under the 60 level. Possible move back to 55. GLD, again, with the US dollar index up at over in triple digits. We're just going to see a pullback to support here for GLD, which is probably going to weigh on the miners. Could see GDX drop back under 20. Imagine that. You can see it's starting to roll over. Momentum is negative. All right, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. It's a Tuesday. Everyone have a great trading session. We'll see where this market heads. Again, the bias now is to the upside. You can see small caps breaking out, NASDAQ breaking out. We have the S&P 500 breaking out. Look at this market. Just buy everything, it seems. The central banks are doing it. Why can't you? All right, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. See you in the chat room.